All right, chat.
Yeah.
All right, chat. Don't go too crazy.
All right, folks. We're back at it with a chaotic start. We're here with our very special guest, Durdle Kingdom, who we're super excited to have on, and a minimal NoSkill cast so we can let the king shine on all of his own time. We'll get our boys introduced. We'll get the king settled out. Starting right off with the Red Prince himself. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing great, and going in with the divinity shout out there, Red Prince. I love it.
I'm so excited. Our season finale is coming up, and that's some shit we got to touch on later because your son was there and things happened. But we'll get back to that later. That was an off topic. That was an off topic thing.
You disappoint
me.
Moving
along with the awkward tension in the air. Fraser, how are you doing, pal?
All right, just barely get my brain started.
I feel that, man. Cons will do that to you. It feels like the next 3 days you're coming off of a bender.
Oh yeah, and that worst part was I was only out there for a few hours, and still, like, if you don't, it's like one of those things. It's an endurance thing. If you don't keep doing it, it kicks your ass.
I feel it. There's a lot of cardio actually involved, but we're happy to have you here. I'm so glad you woke up from your nap because I would have slept plain until Monday.
And you did.
And that leads us right into the man, the myth, the Durdle King himself. How are you doing, man? It's good to see you.
Hello there. I'm doing quite peachy today, actually. I'm having a good day.
I can tell. You in the off-air startup for the stream, man. You were getting everybody riled up. It was like a freaking Public Enemy concert.
That's the beauty of entertainment and content creation. Just the amount of energy you can get from people.
Yeah, the fact that your chant went 0 to 100, screaming at us, each other, questioning the taste of Sasquatch himself. Like, that was a weird conversation.
we'll just make a podcast.
Get to that point.
That's the After Dark episode.
Yeah. It's the Durdle After Dark NoSkill After Dark special.
Vlog 18 in the dark. Fanfic.
I think this is when the Durdle fan fiction folder comes into play.
Oh,
honestly.
Yeah. Don't remind me of the requests.
Them pages about to be thick.
Oh, boy.
A special cameo from Sasquatch himself.
Oh, goodness.
Anyways, before we fall down that rabbit hole, Nightbot keeps asking me if I like what I'm watching uncomfortably. We're gonna roll right into this while everybody's still here to join us. Folks, we did a similar episode of this a few weeks ago. It was super fun, and we were talking about action movies, martial arts movies, kung fu, just the whole weird cloud because things start to get kind of muddy depending on where you are. And the whole time we were just like, man, we need Durdle in here. Also, the smoke alarm's going off. My apologies.
Oh, no.
This time.
It wasn't. We had this exact problem in the recording setup with Fraser. Now it's my house. This is ideal. Anyways, we had the thought while we were recording of, man, Durdle would be perfect for this because this dude's a character. He's got some hands-on experience, and I know you've seen some crazy shit that none of us have because you've been around the block, man. Just talking to you, you got some stories.
Oh yeah, I got a couple.
I feel like you do, and I remember when we were talking on the setup, you were talking about some stuff maybe we hadn't thought of. What would you want to start with, Durdle? Because you had a few ideas.
Yeah. So first of all. Okay, not to like ream you guys or anything on the spot, but you guys brought up the Karate Kid and didn't go into it.
Because it feels like everybody's done that one. I feel like if you did like, oh yeah, no, that was the quintessential movie that got everybody when we were like, if you grew up in the 90s and early 2000s, you've seen those movies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That one's just like a gimme, you know. It's too easy to just reference a Karate Kid because I don't know anyone who hasn't seen those movies.
What about the new Karate Kid series? I'm not familiar with it at all.
Oh, Cobra Kai?
Cobra Kai?
No, Oh no, the one with Will Smith's kid.
Oh, the remake.
The Jackie Chan, Jaden Smith one.
Yeah, let's go with that one. I never saw it.
I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good.
It was Karate Kid, but it was its own thing too. So it was like people were mad because it wasn't like a remake, because that's what they were expecting. But I liked it because it was its own standalone.
I think it told the story super well for what
it did.
You would think would be a cheap remake. And they went in on the action. Like, they made sure it's Jackie Chan. You can't pull any punches because he will berate you.
Yeah.
But I think they did a phenomenal job on that one. I'm amazed you haven't seen that. It seems like it's right up your alley.
Yeah, it's just I've been way behind on like newer movies. I guess it's not considered a newer movie now, is it?
Yeah, it's 2022, my guy.
What? That came out before we graduated.
Yeah.
Wait, really? Hold on a second.
Like, yeah, we got to look this up. Hold on.
I'm looking up right now.
Chat, help us out.
I think I might have still been in middle school.
2010. That was 11 years ago. Oh boy. 12 years ago.
Sophomore in high school, my guy.
No, that was not 11 years ago, Durdle. It's 2022.
Yeah, I know. I forgot.
Durdle's got no grasp of what year it is right now. He's living in the past.
Time is just a concept.
As much as I want to prove you wrong, I saw you drink back the juice in time travel one time, so I'm not going to doubt you.
Oh, goodness.
It was fun to watch.
Oh, boy.
And then you were gone the next.
That was a fun night. A good D&D session.
2 years after Skyrim was released. Ow. You didn't need to attack us like that. That's unnecessary.
Yeah, that's a while ago. God, so another movie that I wanted to bring up that you guys didn't, and I was actually really surprised because you brought up the actor multiple times. How do you pronounce it? Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Oh yeah, kickboxer.
Bloodsport.
Oh, Bloodsport. He took it further back.
Bloodsport is an amazing movie. If you guys have not seen it already.
I haven't seen it in over 15 years, I think. So I wasn't confident enough to talk about it.
I hardly remember that movie.
I remember it was referenced in Baki, and I flipped my table, and that was the extent of how much I've caught up on it in recent years.
Yeah, Bloodsport is definitely a masterpiece. It is. It's an amazing movie. Definitely rewatchable. It has some really good quotable moments and really big like scenes to it that just make it a golden film.
I feel like Van Damme is like actually kind of underappreciated. The guy is really good at what he does.
Yeah, he's he knows his stuff too.
I kind of wish his daughter stepped more into the Hollywood scene because she is terrifying. You want to talk about some monstrous form and technique? That girl's dangerous.
I have not seen his daughter in action.
She's a unit.
Is she also a kickboxer?
Absolutely. Yup. And she, last I did it, she did it mostly for competition and sport. She didn't feel a Hollywood thing. And then when it came to like more modern MMA and UFC style things, she also didn't feel it. She kind of stuck to the traditional stuff. But if you find her training matches on training videos, scary. She's a behemoth, man. She's an absolute unit.
Imagine being surrounded by her whole life with her dad. She just didn't have that interest.
That is fair. Rare. I can see.
Which is rare among Hollywood like celebrity kids, because not a lot of them actually take that route outside of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Some of them ride the coattails of their parents' fame.
Some people are just built different.
But she's respect. She's I need to look up her training videos now. I'm curious.
It's a thing to behold, man. She makes a heavy bag just sway despite being no more than like $150.
Dang, that takes some momentum for sure.
Mm-hmm.
No, go on.
For it. You the guest. I'm always.
Hold on, I was going to transition to another film. I don't think you guys talked about on the last podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie Chan's First Strike.
No.
I haven't seen it.
Sorry. I had to burp.
Ooh. Okay, so
Really? Sorry,
Yeah.
ignore me. I gotta mute my mic.
So, okay, for those of you who have seen it that aren't like recollecting it, it has the famous ladder scene where Jackie Chan fights with a ladder. It is like one of the most. This is actually what got me like super into martial arts after just watching this scene from First Strike. It's Jackie Chan fighting off like 5 or 6 different dudes, and he's going in and out of the ladder. He's like putting it up, he's swirling it around, he's propping it up, hitting people with it, and he just does all this crazy stuff with it. Like if you don't want to watch the whole movie and just watch the fighters, like the ladder scene, go for it, because it is like one of the most awesome cinematic parts of like a martial arts film that I can remember to this day.
Yeah,
Once you said that, I immediately remember that scene where he flips it behind his back and he does the spin and just shit whip somebody with it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's
I haven't seen that in
craziness.
so many years, dude. You took me back.
I haven't seen it, that one specifically, but I've seen a lot of Jackie Chan movies growing up, and man, that man with the way he uses his environment to make the fight scenes even more just cinematic and entertaining, it truly just amazing to watch.
Oh yeah, certainly. He had a really interesting like upbringing in martial arts too. If you guys have ever have the chance, I believe the book is called My Life in Action by Jackie Chan, and he goes in depth about like different stories and stuff that he experienced when he first got into martial arts. It is a great read. I don't want to spoil much on it, but it's definitely a good read on it. It's a good like autobiography.
I do know a good bit about his history. I won't say I'm an expert by any means, but the Three Dragons will always have a special place in my childhood, man. I grew up on watching movies that were way too violent for the age I actually was.
But that was back like that's the 90s for you, right?
Oh yeah, and don't get me wrong, there was good stuff at the time. It didn't quite capture the same way a Jackie Chan movie did, the same way a Jet Li movie did. Like that was the things, especially being a young dumb guy. My mind immediately gravitated towards it.
And now Jet Li, that's a martial artist that I always enjoy watching. He has some of my favorite movies.
To be completely honest, I don't know much about Jet Li. I think I've seen one, maybe 2 movies.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like
Wow.
for being in the martial arts scene, I've actually not watched a whole lot of movies. But I've seen like a decent amount.
Have you at least seen like the Ambach movies?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
figured-
grill me now.
No, I just
I'm
Yeah.
no, it's fine.
how do I
I'm
say this
surprised.
without being stupid? The way those movies portray Muay Thai and traditional style fighting is so grounded and realistic compared to a lot of the newer stuff you see in Hollywood. I figured that would be a lot more your style because while there are theatrics and they do kind of dress it up for Hollywood, when it's one on one, it's old school. It's in your face,
Oh.
it's gritty, and shit, dude. The impacts look legit on some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really like I know about Muay Thai, but that's one of the few martial arts that I know like 1 or 2 moves from, but and like a little brief history of it, but not enough to say that I'm like versed in it in any way, shape, or form.
All right, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you from experience, you don't want to get one of those straight kicks to the midsection.
Yeah, for sure.
I still remember that shit, Brandon. Not you, Dravo, other Brandon from my childhood.
I've definitely taken a few blows like that. Taking an impact from a front kick or even even worse, a side kick, like straight to the stomach can really mess up your organs. Hopefully temporarily, but sometimes not.
It's always terrible when the best case scenario is getting the wind knocked out of you.
Exactly.
just awful. Is the moment of laying on the ground like, okay, I still feel blood pumping. That's a good sign. No air coming in yet. Got to work on that.
Dude, oh man, is it all right if I go into a personal anecdote about?
We're
okay, so.
Oh, man. I was actually hoping for you to get into a little more of your own experiences.
Ooh, okay. So for those of you who don't know, I used to practice Kajikembo, which is a mixed martial art that was originated in Hawaii, that has a lot of different styles mixed in together. And for my fourth tip specifically, the fourth level of my brown belt, there was a sparring test that I had to do. And in that sparring test, I had to go against everybody in the class, including black belts that were above the rank, like that I was at the time. And I remember going against this hulking Filipino dude. This dude made Arnold Schwarzenegger look like he did not have muscles. This dude was cut. I couldn't even explain it, dude.
This dude was like a Baki or a JoJo's character.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yo,
man was a unit,
dude. Yeah, dude, he was a unit. He was a tank in himself. This dude could fight too, because he's part of an elite fighting group called the Lacan, and this is from my old style, who trained under my old grandmaster. So he knew his stuff. So this guy knew a lot. And I had to go against him. And I went up for a blitz technique. For a blitz, you go in, you fake a hit, and then you rush in real quick to basically take the ground. And as I was rushing in, mind you, I was 240-ish at the time, 230, 240. So I'm still pretty big, and going full force at this guy, he goes and turns up a sidekick and hits me square in the nuts. Full force.
Oh no.
And yeah, so I drop to the ground. I need a few moments. I get back up, and that was at the beginning of the fight. At the end of the fight, I go for a blitz again to try it, and he hits me square in the stomach to the point where it almost ruptures my spleen. And I had to go to the hospital that night because of the impact of just that specific sidekick.
My guy, were you fighting Boss Rutan? Jesus Christ!
Yeah, seriously, Jesus.
Yeah, this dude was no joke with the arts.
I can see that. That was monstrous.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy to think that the fundamental little things like that are the ones that punish you the most.
Yeah, like everybody can see, like if you go to if you go see old videos of like Bruce Lee and stuff with his sidekick, it gives like a really good example of like how much force you could produce off of just a really, like it's a very basic kick, but you have to look at the finer details of it to get the maximum potential out of it.
Well, have you seen Joe Rogan's standing sidekick?
I have not. Let me look that up real quick. While
the video is called "Joe Rogan's Sidekicks Sound Like Gunshots." I'm not even kidding. That is a real thing. Chat, look it up. Back me up here.
Okay, Joe Rogan. Machine gun? What is it?
It's just sidekicks sound like and gunshots.
Okay.
Man, this man went toe to toe with a Bucky character.
It's straight up.
I remember you showing me this, Mikey. Yeah, that dude
Did you find it?
Thing was terrified.
He said he was going to kick one of his friends like that. And his friend's like, Joe, you're my friend, but I'll shoot you if I have to. Oh, did you find it on stream?
Yeah. I'm playing on stream right now. Gosh damn.
Nice.
He's doing it pretty high too. I totally forgot Joe Rogan knows martial arts.
Yeah, he was actually in competition for a lot of years before he started getting out of the sport and doing commentary and other projects.
Yeah, just man, I'm so used to just hearing about his show that I totally forgot what he did before the Joe Rogan show.
Yeah.
Before he did DMT and just invited strangers into his office.
So what started Joe Rogan? Was it Fear Factor or was it something else?
More or less, he will credit Fear Factor as him jumping off into the mainstream.
Okay.
But he did do competition fighting. He did do some acting, and then comedy, stand-up comedy was always his dream. So once he got the ability to do that more and more, that's kind of the route he chased. And eventually it landed him on the podcast.
Nice.
He's actually in a couple of movies. I wish he made it into one of the Wrong Turn movies. I would have watched the ever-living hell out of that.
But hey, man,
I'm just
guy knows how to basically get around a show, his fucking fighting career, movies. This man has done a lot.
yeah, he knows how to play the game. Oh man. Yeah, it's just to me like I've heard on occasion, like I've heard that he was a commentator for like UFC and stuff like that. I just never. And he still does it. Okay, cool. Like
Yeah.
Another thing you guys might be surprised in. I actually don't follow UFC.
I don't doubt that at all.
Oh, okay, cool.
You seem old school as hell to me.
I mean, in itself, cage fighting and mixed martial arts and everything like that, it has its place in the martial arts community. But it's just the only thing that's really mainstream these days. So like doing a style that was similar to it, I kind of already got the information that I needed and from like the mixed martial arts of it, except for Brazilian jiu-jitsu, I heard is popular these days.
It is massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brazilian jiu-jitsu is one of the things I to this day I still don't know about. I heard that it's kind of closer to judo than actual jiu-jitsu, but I don't know the validity of that per se.
It's more floor work than traditional. It is almost like 80-20 split.
Okay. Interesting.
Quick side note about that. If you did ever want to learn something, one of my buddies is setting up a home gym, and not anything big operation, of course. But once COVID's all settled out and he doesn't have to worry about having people at his house, we can swing out there if you ever wanted to learn something from him.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I got something later on I'll bring up too that you can bring up with him as well.
Yeah, for sure. I'll warn you now. He's a stubborn ass. So if he starts getting carried away, don't hesitate to check him. Like, you need to know. I love this dude to death.
Honestly, he's probably a little more fit than me because I'm more at a relaxed pace these days.
You're out of his weight class, though. I'll tell you that. He's not a big guy. not in any mean way. He's a very narrow frame of a human being.
Oh goodness, yeah. It's martial arts in general though is crazy. How many years martial arts has been a thing in the world? It's been like over 5,000 years of just different types of martial arts from different like countries and continents all coming together finally in this day and age. And you can see a lot of different styles and things like kind of intertwining with one another, which was kind of it was forbidden for a lot of arts back in the day to do that kind of thing. But you see now more and more of quote unquote progressive martial arts where they learn the traditional basics and then they build upon the basics to make it even better.
Well, even in the last, not even a long time back, like 50 years isn't a long time in the grand scheme of things. But 50 years ago, there were people who wouldn't even look at you if you said you did the wrong thing. If you weren't part of their clique, don't come here to learn. Don't practice. We don't want you.
Yeah.
And it's escalating so quickly these days of people being like, all right, well, I like this, but let's mix it up. Or I wonder how this would work. And some people just go try shit just to try it.
Yeah, honestly, getting into martial arts these days is probably the easiest it's ever been. You even see like YouTube ads on different things about it. But like to get an experience, you can't really just watch a video. You need to be there hands on with an instructor or with a guide or something or someone like that, and go and learn it like kinesthetically in order to really like appreciate the arts.
As in most things in life, there's truly no replacement for hands-on experience.
Exactly.
It's funny you mentioned how accessible it is. I was driving with Siege the other day, and we were cruising by to pick up lunch, and we drove past this big studio, and it was they were training people in Krav Maga and Sambo.
Oh, really?
And it's not that far. It's over in Roseville. It's like 25 minutes from here.
Oh, okay. Both styles I haven't learned.
Right? Can you imagine trying to find a place like that 20 years ago, 30 years ago?
Yeah, well, like think of Sambo in general, like how hard it is to come by people that like really know the art.
Exactly.
It is like Krav Maga is like Krav Maga you can find here and there, at least in our area. But Sambo itself is just it's very scarce from what I've seen.
Yeah, it is from a far ways away, and it's kind of one of those things that's hard to market generally because everybody's heard of karate, everybody's heard of kickboxing, everybody's heard of judo. This foreign art that's kind of how do I say this? I don't want to say brutal because it's not the wrong word. It's efficient, and it's not really for competition most of the time. It's going to be a tough sell depending on what neighborhood you're in.
I'm not really familiar with Sambo. Where's its origin come from?
Russia, I believe.
Russia? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's oh boy. So it's I would probably say if we were to like put it in terms that probably everybody could understand, with trying not to like disrespect the arts or anything, I'd probably say Sambo's close to judo, and mixing it up with different like a couple different other styles for their striking techniques.
Yeah, the general consensus, and this isn't like a fundamental breakdown. This is kind of like what most people on the internet agree on. Is it's a split between judo, jujitsu, and a little bit of traditional wrestling. Not a whole lot. Sometimes you see the slams and you're like, oh, there it is. That makes a lot of sense. But the whole point of it was to be well-rounded, to make sure soldiers could defend themselves, and to make sure whoever you hit probably isn't getting back up.
Now,
that'd be the goal. Yeah, I can see that.
yeah, I mean, disabling. Yeah. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this series or not, but it was a series. It was either on A&E or History or something like that. No, the History Channel. Human Weapon.
I've heard of it.
No.
Never seen an episode.
I've heard of it, but yeah, same. I have not seen an actual episode of that.
Oh, if you want like in-depth breakdown of techniques, they will show like actual verified studies they do on camera of how powerful these techniques are. And it is crazy what they can come up with. They did one on Muay Thai. They did one on Sambo. There were a few other ones that they did as well. But it like if you want the nitty gritty scientific like portion of martial arts, it's actually a pretty decent show to get into for that.
Sounds interesting. Actually, might check that out.
I may have seen a clip from it because I don't even know what the show was, but it sounds very familiar. Where they had this, I believe it was a older guy, jiu-jitsu practitioner, and he was showing him how to do some of the recovering techniques that he learned. and a kick him and his family developed over the years. They put a one of the little force meters on a target dummy, and he hit almost 3,000 psi at the point of impact.
Damn.
Jesus
And
Christ.
oh yeah, and the people who were there running all the tests are like, bullshit, get another patch on there. That one's broken. And he did it again. It was a little weaker because he was getting tired. He had to throw everything he had into it. But he was just like, so what do you think? They're like, you are fucking scary.
You're gonna kill someone with that.
Yeah, like, so the fun fact, it takes about approximately 15 pounds to break a bone.
Mhm.
So 3,000 psi. Yes, you're gonna get messed up if not dead.
The trade-off was, and it was, the setup was recovering from a laying down position. So you're pushing off the ground with your hands, and you're using your hands and or your core and your lower body to press up, almost like a donkey kick or a foot, like a fighter's on the back trying to get out of a mount. But the idea is to catch them while they're coming into you, so you hit them with all that force and force them back. It doesn't have a very high area to hit, so you have to kind of hope they're coming to your level. It's a big gamble, and he fully admits it's not perfect. But the amount of force he was able to put out, you're like, man, all it takes is him to get lucky one time. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. It literally can only take one punch or one kick to end the fight. Like we like as a society are like, oh yeah, the lucky punches or the mystical punches that completely obliterate people on impact or whatever weird stuff that comes in. Like when it comes down to a fight, like in a competition fight, you're not going to see it as much because it's usually point sparring and stuff like that. But like when you get into like the real competitions where, you know, submission tap outs and stuff like that, like, ooh, people get pretty damn brutal.
Oh yeah. Actually, that reminds me. I was going to ask you about something, if you don't mind us teetering off a little bit.
Yeah, I don't mind.
It's a bit of a hot topic in the current scene. People are trying to get it mainstream and build up the momentum. It does exist as it is right now. There's a bare knuckle boxing league that is allowed in the States after like 70 years of everybody saying you can't do that. It finally exists legit, and it's a paid industry.
Oh.
How do you feel about that? Because there is a good bit of risk for everybody involved.
So, like, what angle do you want me to look at this at? Like, as like
how do you feel about it? Because you know exactly how dangerous and real some of these situations can get. A league with no pads, I believe it goes 10 or 12 rounds, much like actual boxing. It'll go a long distance. They're full 3-minute rounds, and the ref is very minimally involved.
It is a very high risk sport. I'll give it that.
It's a little rough around the edges from trying to market it to a big audience. Like, I personally would follow things like that because I know it is a thing in other countries. I know it's been practiced around, but we're not really used to that as a culture here.
Yeah, I would say so. A little bit of like comparing between, like, let's just go with, like, you know, traditional Western boxing, for example, where they have the gloves and everything. They have to be a certain weight, and they have a certain amount of padding and all that kind of stuff. If I remember correctly, from what I was told, like 10 plus years ago, so this might not actually be the case, that it's up to 4 times more impact without the padding.
Holy shit. That's
Yeah.
a staggering number.
So if you think of like Mike Tyson trying to punch out a dude, like,
oh no,
yeah. And I'm just going with Iron Tyson because everybody knows who he is, and like his hands are massive, his wrists are massive, guys.
That's a lot of surface area.
That's so funny. We were talking about him last episode too. Without you, we were all like, "His guy's swinging cinder blocks at you. What are you gonna guard?"
Oh yeah, it was what was it? Ip.13, was it?
Yo,
Yeah. Oh
And
man.
the fight stuck to the realism of the weight class difference of he only had to land like 3 or 4, and then over on the other end, Donnie Yen's just laying like 16, 20 hits into him. It's not making the same effect.
Yeah. It's dude, like those are two drastically different styles, Wing Chun and boxing, but they're both effective in their own right. My goodness.
Oops, sorry. I was fact checking myself. A Muay Thai practitioner has now beat the current record of the highest kick output of 2,749 pounds of force at the point of impact.
Dang. Oh my gosh. And
That's
like
a terrifying
piss that
statistic,
dude
right?
off.
that is like
Whatever
honestly,
that hits is becoming mush or disappearing. It will cease to exist.
That's an actual anime injury right there.
Mist.
That's a Baki
Literally
scene.
reduced to atoms.
oh my gosh.
That's
Yeah.
terrifying.
And like one of the special techniques of Muay Thai, even though you see it in a lot of other martial arts, is the roundhouse. It's just their bread and butter, and they put all out on it too. Like people, I bet people listening to this have at least seen a video or two of them just kicking down banana trees and stuff.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
like,
actually.
Yeah.
I know several people who have done it. One of them was the one that kicked me when I was in high school. That was 100% my fault. We used to box and do dumb stuff like that and like have wrestling matches. One day I checked him and caught him off guard, and he snapped a little bit, and I was immediately put on the floor.
Dang.
I won the official match. Unofficially, I was on the ground.
So it was brought to my attention by one of my mods. They say, for some context, the kick that was registered had more force than a 12 gauge shotgun with 2 quarter shots, or quarter board shots. That's a lot of force.
That is a metric shit ton.
Yeah, it's just the capability.
like you're destroying someone.
Like in all
with that
honesty,
kick. If you hit someone in the head with that, their head's coming off. You're gonna decapitate them.
Oh my god, the amount of brain injuries. Like they're not going to be able to talk or probably even walk if they survive.
Are you kidding me? They're probably not gonna live.
Period.
It's that scene from Doctor Strange where she knocks his soul out of his body. It's a lot like that.
That's exactly what I pictured, man. I'm like, God damn.
Dude, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
I can imagine someone who's able to have that output following it up with a roundhouse.
It honestly comes down to technique, repetition, power, grounding, just like the basics of a kick. If you get the basics down, you start from there and you work your way up.
I feel really bad because I'm not experienced in any traditional sense. Off the record, I have had a few street incidents. And
Street incidents.
dude, footwork and making sure you're at balance makes a massive difference. It truly does. I've been the idiot who's been caught off balance and been punished for it. And more often than not, I am the worst. I'm smaller than a lot of people, so tripping is a big part of my offense.
Oh man, I'm just like recreating the scene of Rocky V with Beast in it.
Why?
Because that was the one with the fight scene with Tommy Gunn in the back of the in the street, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's funny. I was actually just playing the Rocky game, the Creed VR Rise to Glory, for like the last 2 weeks, and that's one of the levels, the back alley fight.
Oh, well, by the way, you guys didn't even bring up Rocky.
True.
I was trying to dodge a very specific point in my brain because probably the week before we recorded that, I was listening to a Joe Rogan video and they brought up the segment where Bill Burr went up and just roasted the entire city for having a Rocky statue when some of the greatest heavyweights of all time have come out of the same city.
I mean, why not both?
But they didn't. They put Stallone.
I mean, I think it's just such a the Rocky series is just such an icon
Really
to America in general.
But if I was going to do a boxing movie, it probably wouldn't be that one.
What, Slumdog Millionaire?
What?
Oh wait, no, that's not the one I'm thinking of. What was the one with the one that gets knocked out and hits the chair? Which one is that?
I feel like that's a lot of them.
No, so it's at the very spoiler alert. It's at the very end of the movie where the dude gets sucker punched and he falls back and he lands on a chair and breaks his neck. Or maybe it was a she. I can't remember.
Know. All I know is Slumdog Millionaire is about a kid who gets on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, not boxing.
Oh, wait. My bad. Wrong movie entirely.
Wrong genre entirely. Like, that's the opposite end of the spectrum of movies.
I was like, what movie is he talking about?
What movie am I talking about? Hold on.
Look it up.
Okay.
It is not Slumdog Millionaire. My bad.
Oh, that's Rocky 2. Apollo dies after fighting Draga. Thanks, Gizmo.
Oh, spoiler alert. Rocky 4.
Gizmo, you saw the tourist jogging up the stairs.
Oh, maybe it was maybe it was a female. That what's the boxing movie with the? Oh man, sorry, it's just not coming to me. Boxing. Anyway, well, I'll look it up while we talk about the next subject. That way we can keep going.
Oh, for sure. Like I was gonna say, if I did talk about a boxing movie, it probably wouldn't be that one. I personally like Cinderella Man. That's just me. I'm sure that's an unpopular opinion. I don't know if you guys have seen that one.
I wouldn't be able to really put anything into this because when it comes to martial arts movies or fighting movies, I typically don't watch boxing movies.
I know what kind of household you were raised in. You're used to old school boxing, aren't you?
It's old school, yeah. I'm in old school martial arts movies, stuff like that. But yeah,
I know. I'm in the same house.
Yeah, and you know exactly what type of house I was raised in. My parents loved the movie Three Ninjas. They thought that was peak cinema for 90s movies.
I can actually see your parents enjoying this movie quite a lot.
What is it again?
Cinderella Man.
I heard it's a good movie though. I need to watch it.
It is really good. It actually has phenomenal reviews across the board. IMDb gave it an 8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 80%. And whatever this other one I've never heard of gave it a 4.6. It's pretty simple, though. It's a boxer going through the Great Depression. It is loosely based on a true story. And what happens is the Depression hits, the league starts falling apart, and he fractures his dominant hand, and he eventually has to retire. So he goes on, gets a day job, and he works in a factory with his right hand in a cast, and he starts to develop some skill and comfort in his left hand. So when he goes back to the ring, his whole style's evolved. And him being a ambidextrous striker and knowing how to use a proper guard, he starts climbing the ranks. And it's really cool. It has a lot of realism in it. There's a lot of technique. And the storytelling is really cool because this happened to people. There was a time when these world-class fighters were on top of the world, and the next year, ignore that. Almost my whole setup.
Rock bottom, just like that.
Yeah, they were average Joes working a factory job trying to get by, and I don't know. I think it sells the whole story really well, and it is an underdog's tale at the halfway point. But we had so much shit going on. Did you hear how much we were rambling in that episode?
Oh my god. There's so many movies, so many different martial arts things that are going around.
There are a lot coming out.
Actually, Durdle, have you seen Shang-Chi, the new one?
I have not. When you guys were talking about that on the podcast, I was actually really interested in trying to find out a way to watch Shang-Chi.
I've actually watched
Mhm.
it since then, and honestly,
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is amazing. I love a lot of the subtle references to a lot of different martial arts things. Even Dragon Ball Z appeared at one point.
Right? Dude, we're in the theaters and it's dead silent. And you just hear Adrian, "Fuck yes."
Well, hey, what we can do though, like one night, just have a movie night and we just watch it.
We've been saying that we were gonna do a NoSkill movie night for months, my guy.
But we should really get on that then.
In our defense, DJ's been in the hospital 3 separate times, one of which he was stabbed. There was the whole incident with today, and then there was the 5 days he spent protecting a K-pop band from their insane fans, one of which had to be chokeslammed.
What?
Yeah,
DJ lives in
we're
Edward
not-
State.
We're not gonna say the name of the band because just their name alone incites riots.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay, I have a good idea of who this is then.
If
Oh,
you
wait,
know
okay.
just from that, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking about K-pop, this is a weird transition, but speaking about
Yeah, it is.
K-pop, what are your guys' thoughts about Rain in Ninja Assassin?
Oh, man, Ninja Assassin came out when I was that edgy teen. I loved every minute of that movie.
Dude,
I've seen it, but I haven't gotten to see a good quality picture of it because the only time I've seen it is at a friend's house, and it was a pirated version of it. So the quality was pretty ass, and most of the scenes were too dark to see shit. So
My God.
so I have yet to see a proper viewing of it, but I mean it's a cool movie.
If I remember correctly, I think this was on Netflix as well.
I wouldn't know.
Possibly.
I think it is.
I don't own
Yeah.
If
Netflix,
it is,
so I don't know.
want to see it.
Me either. Shout out to Tom, host D&D and my Netflix addiction.
Oh wait, you're
You
using
know.
Thomas's?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure DJ uses it too.
Yes, he does.
Damn, I need to steal this with Netflix.
Just hop on. There's already like 10 of his leeches.
Wait, doesn't his sister use it too?
Yes.
Dude,
And his brother.
everyone, bro,
It'd be
can I
like
give a
mom,
shit?
dad, sister, me, the leeching bitches. Just all the categories.
Bro, this man's
Shit's
sharing
too
his
funny.
Netflix with everybody, man.
Gosh damn. So what?
Time where we were sharing all of our stuff with each other.
Oh goodness.
What's his name?
Oh yeah, so Ninja Assassin. One thing that I wanted to bring up that I thought was amazing, just like the awesome training that happened, like in the story, where they had to basically cut off one of their senses for a year, and they did that for all their senses. It was like thinking about it. Like how tuned your senses would be if you had to engage in a fight and you maybe lost your hearing or lost your sight, something like that, and just the like how your senses could just be so heightened after all of the training for literally not using one of your senses for a year and learning how to use the other senses to compensate for it.
I feel like your grappling game would be on point.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Man, what about the whip chain fight in that movie?
Oh man.
Looking back on it, CG didn't age well in some of the scenes, but it was so good.
Now, what was it? They had the kunai in that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the kunai and chain, not to be confused with Yu-Gi-Oh's.
Don't even start with me.
Man, I already can hear the shit that Adrian would be saying if you heard that.
Dude, man, why do you do this to me? Why you gotta stress me out?
Because so you got to throw in a little chaos.
I didn't expect you to bring up that movie, man. You're taking me back.
Yeah, that is. I was. I'm not sure if I was surprised or just like, oh yeah. I mean, they're probably not going to talk about Korean pop singers, whatever. So like, it made sense that you didn't bring it up in the first podcast of martial arts films and such.
We were trying to stay away from a sore spot for DJ.
Oh, okay.
Nah, dude, we had so much going on, and we had like a list each, and we got to maybe a third of the list because we just started digging around so much. And oh yeah, that reminds me of this movie. Oh yeah, that reminds me of that movie. And then when we'd like say one none of us had heard of, it was just clicking for like 40 seconds while we all looked for it.
Nice.
I'm amazed none of you guys had seen Surf Ninjas. That really freaked me out.
I
may have seen it once, but I'm not sure.
I still need to. That movie sounds freaking just amazing for what it is.
Leslie Nielsen was the bad guy, so if that doesn't ring any bells, you probably haven't seen it.
Oh wait, no, I remember you talking about it. Where he's the cybernetic one.
Yeah, he's a cybernetic samurai, but he has no makeup and no costume. He just has a samurai helmet, the chest plate, and a sword.
Yeah, it doesn't ring a bell. Never mind. I need to watch it.
That movie's a gem. It's so bad.
I also like to point out just a quick little fact here that Mikey's been in the damn Twitch chat typing shit instead of saying it on the podcast.
I was looking at that. Something about Steven Seagal and about old as hell movies.
Yeah, I can do both. I talk enough on these podcasts. I really don't want to blare out the guest and or my co-hosts.
Oh goodness.
Me and DJ are like idiotic fountains. Once you kick open that valve, man, you better be ready because it's about to pour.
Yeah, most of the time I let these guys do their thing because once they get going, it's hard to really get anything in between there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Our last mini cast ran over like 30 something minutes because DJ just kept talking.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
Man, there's even still more for him to say about those stories.
We might do a
That
part
was supposed
two.
to be a mini cast too.
It also have been an actual podcast.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I guess one of his uncles was caught in a standing guillotine in the backyard on Christmas.
What?
Wait, this Christmas?
No, I guess when he was a kid, two of his uncles were fighting each other, and when he went to break up the fight, his aunt was yelling at him for having tattoos.
Oh yeah, I remember that story.
You forget his brother throwing a baseball bat through the door because his cousins locked him in his room.
Oh
this was
man,
all happening simultaneously, and his mom's just in the kitchen watching Family Feud from the other room. Or no, Let's Make a Deal.
Yeah, and dealing.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
We're the worst, man. Once we get rolling, it's a total shit show.
Yeah. So here's a question for you guys, actually.
Sure.
Because I'm guessing none of you have specialized in any arts or anything like that, right?
I have not. I have done.
I did a little bit of judo when I was living in Florida, but once we moved out here, that stopped. So I haven't done shit in like over 15 years.
Martial arts class, I would say, when I was not even in my double digits of age. And my father has been teaching me how to defend myself since I was able to walk.
Okay. So the question, out of all the styles in the world, which one would you want to learn the most and why?
Oh, I have an immediate answer. Do you guys want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm thinking on it too.
All right, I'll jump right into this. Man, how do I say it? The evil twin of Muay Thai is called Lethwei. Has anyone ever heard of this one?
I have not actually.
No.
I could be totally butchering the pronunciation, but
I know which one you're going for though. What you said.
It's also known as Burmese boxing.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen it. It's a very brutal sport. I personally just like the flow of it. Rushing offense, headbutts are allowed. shots of the throat, open areas on the body, things that would normally be frowned upon in other areas or in other styles, and the technical footwork and trying to keep a good offense and more than a defense. I just it speaks to me mostly because in the few exchanges I have had, I found out very quickly I hate grappling. I do not enjoy it. I have had a couple people try to show me like the right way and train me. I don't like it. It's probably a bad mindset to have, but it's just not something that's in my wheelhouse. So striking is the name of the game. And while I am slower, I can absolutely mess up somebody's footwork and create an opening very easily. I've done it a few times. I really wish Tony would have taken me up on the offer. That would have been fun.
That would have been fucking great. I would have paid money to see that. Oh God.
So the ironic part, I actually love grappling.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my
see that you're built for it.
That is like my bread and butter.
And height on me. If you get around me, there's so few gaps for me to get through.
But like I really like grappling because you just have a lot of like aspects of it that you can control different parts of the body. You can stop engagement, and you don't even have to be on the ground for it. A lot of grappling goes to the ground, of course, but you can do grappling techniques while standing up, and you can fold onto people, and you can put them into locks and stuff like that, and it's very effective for what's the word I'm looking for? Non-lethal and like using D&D phrases like subdual damage, where you don't try to hurt them as much, but you can definitely put them into places where you need them to be.
I get it. A little more controlling the situation than actual try to dominate it, more or less.
Yeah, exactly. Because like for a couple of my old jobs, being a bouncer and being a security officer, like you can't just flat out punch somebody. Like it just looks really bad. So control holds and things like that are your like bread and butter.
See, I hate those kind of jobs though. You know me, man. I'm not particularly good with people.
You have to have a lot of.
That's it.
You got to have a lot of patience in those, especially like, it's like you have to have two different types of like patience for being a bouncer and being a security officer. Because one, like the bouncer, you have to deal with drunk people all the time, and you have to dismiss it as, oh, they're being stupid because they're drunk. Whereas, like, if something happens and you're a security officer, you have to go to the letter of the law when you do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And having both, like as a security officer, a lot of people do like the spirit of the law and the letter of the law. Spirit of the law is like, okay, you see somebody doing something stupid and be like, hey, just leave. I'm not going to say anything as long as you stop what you're doing and head out. That's like the spirit of the law. Now, if you go by the letter, oh, they're prowling or they're trying to break in and enter, they're this, that, and the other. You give them the whole list, trespassing, whatever. But a lot of people, when they're that kind of security officer, they have to, sorry, they have to, they have to go by the book, and it drains the hell out of the people that you're dealing with and to yourself. I'm just not going to read chat. I'm just not going to read chat.
No, Mikey just reminded me of something that happened to Tom.
Yeah, Durdle, do you want to hear something funny?
I would love to hear it.
Tom is going to kick my ass next time he sees me. So he showed up to my house one time in his work uniform. The black shirt, security, the utility belt inside of his car. And my dad's like, oh, shit, we top flight security in the world, Craig. What's up, Dee? And I'm like, God damn it.
Uh,
So embarrassed he went and just put it back in his car.
He put the bill in his car. Dude, I'm sorry. There's a reason I'm like this. It didn't come from nowhere. Nah, I get your point you were making though. Like a style like that would definitely suit your lifestyle more, and more generally those situations. Unfortunately, the times where I've had to do something like that, it was very sudden, and I usually got hit first. So it was into the card. Oh shit, something's wrong, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Actually, Frazier wasn't there. I actually got knocked out once. That was fun.
Oof.
Yikes.
That was at the Kubla Khan show when I was with Ian.
Oh, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah. I was enjoying a concert and someone jumped up, their fingertips hit the ceiling of the roof, and they dropped the people's elbow on the back of my head. It was lights out.
Oh, boy.
What's that?
Dude, that could have been a killing shot.
No shit. I was standing next to the two ladies that had come with us that night, and I don't remember. I guess one of them saw it happen. I remember waking up and I was throwing this guy.
Damn.
I've seen Mikey just throw people on a moment's notice, so I could believe that he did this just subconsciously.
So it in the top back of your head?
Yeah. Full on the top, man. Not the plate, like right on the bend.
Oh, okay. So they were about like 3 or 4 inches away from like a lights out permanently spot. So
I don't doubt that at all. That guy we weren't even in the mosh pit. We were near the bar and he did that shit. I wasn't the only person he made enemies of that night, but he did leave me alone because I threw him hard enough to tear the muscle in my arm.
Damn.
He smashed through the crowd, hit the wooden floor, bounced, and when he tried to get up, his legs gave out and he hit the floor again.
Nice.
That unfortunately, one of the girls we were with gave me a dead arm on the way out because I tried to play it off like it didn't hurt. I couldn't shift to get home, so I drove home with one hand, and Ian shifted through all my gears to get us back to Woodland.
Oh my goodness!
True story, man. Don't get me wrong. If I could have restrained him at some point, I probably would have. That was just not in the cards.
Yeah, no. When it comes to stuff like that, you're supposed to use control, but I mean,
I wasn't awake until I let go.
Damn,
he was already sailing.
Subconsciously whooping ass.
No shit. I guess from what I was told, I had already because when on the way down, I caught my balance, gripped his collar, pulled him down to my level, and then picked him back up and yeet. Those of you who don't know, I'm only like 5'6", 5'7". He was not. I think he was like 6'4", and a lot heavier than me, and that's why my arm was so jacked up after that. I was hurting for weeks.
Damn.
Enough of my rambling.
I've seen Mikey literally just shove one person with his arm, not even like holding onto him, but putting his arm between two people and just going from straight in front of you all the way out to the side and just throw people like that.
Gosh, damn.
Stocky guy, man. I got a little power in
Yeah, true.
Yeah, like when you need to throw down, you throw down.
I don't intend on it. You guys know me. I'm pretty laid back, especially in social settings, but I don't know what it is. People see me and they're like, fuck that guy. That wouldn't
take a hit.
To be fair, I kind of got that the first time I met you. I'm like, is this dude gonna fight me or is he just gonna be chill? Oh wait, he's chill. Okay, yeah, we're good. Okay, yeah, we're good.
You said looking down at me from the clouds, you giant. And for the first time I met you, it was for a D&D game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go up to D&D, think it's Fight Club. Actually, that would be a sick fan fiction. Durdle Kingdom, work on that. Get the fans out there.
You heard it, chat. Go ahead and make a fanfic of D&D with with whooping ass.
It starts D&D and it turns into Fight Club halfway through.
I'm calling on Rakdos in your crazy mind. Do
Do it.
it. Do it.
Oh yeah. So to go to answer the question, we digress so far on this.
Yeah,
but
I apologize.
Oh yeah.
You're good. It gave me plenty of time to think about my answer.
good. That's what I was aiming for.
I probably would have gone with like we were talking about Muay Thai, just because it always seemed like really interesting to me. Like even watching some of like the matches that they have in the rings.
I could see you being dangerous in a clinch, like not even playing.
That like
Ace Durdle made that was too real.
Thinking about Muay Thai is just like seeing the carnage it can like create is just crazy.
Yeah.
See, like the kicks, the holds, like the way that I look at it is it's not a sustainable art because of the amount of damage it does to not only the opponent but to yourself.
Yeah,
And that's a
I'm not one
huge
of those
thing.
people that like I want to try to draw out something or whatnot. No, if we're getting into a fight, I'm trying to end it as quick as possible. Because I know if I can't get my few good hits in, I'm probably going down.
I call utter bullshit on that.
Okay, moshing in the pit is different than this type of shit.
One hand on the man's forehead, and you made the back of his skull touch the dirt in one motion.
Damn.
Okay, but that guy had pissed me off. Like that was one of the few times I lost my temper in the pit.
Yeah, Durdle, this guy was standing over like this crowd, like this little lift area where you can't really see. So when you're coming around in the mosh pit, he would plant and just throw hard uppercuts at whoever came by, and he was aiming for the jaw every single time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Frazier,
I came
with a
around,
slight
saw it.
over, puts his palm on his forehead like a cartoon character and just Looney Tunes his ass. Literally put his feet where his head were a second ago in one.
Nice.
Yeah,
Frazier's
like when I
got some
need to, I can have that. And that's why I say I want to do Muay Thai because I can do that in a pinch. But if I had to keep doing that, I wouldn't be able to.
So more of like you're looking for like endurance or just quick 1-2 and out.
Not a quick 1-2, but something that like it's not going to be something long and drawn out. Just kind of like a burst, but I can sustain it if I need to. Is more what I was looking at.
Okay.
But like I said, Muay Thai has always just seemed like watching the fights in the ring and whatnot. It just the devastation from it's like, oh, I wish I could do that.
Yeah, they have to go through some like the boxers themselves in Thailand. They have to go through so much training, and it is grueling having that kind of training. It is so hard on your body. Like I've trained hard before. Sorry, I've trained hard before, and I've seen the damage it does to my body just from that kind of training. And their training is substantially harder on the body.
I've seen the damage you've done to yourself. You've come into D&D sessions T-posing because you can't put your arms down.
I can confirm that.
Oh man.
Yeah. I've seen you come and just sit down and just give me a minute, guys.
Yeah. And yeah, you gotta the thing is it's creeping back on me from like 10 plus years ago, and then the injuries that I have nowadays is like they're just not healing like they used to.
Life's a bitch, ain't it?
Yeah. All right, Dravo, what about you?
Okay, when it comes to fighting styles, I'm not really well informed of what type. Like, say if you say more, like I don't know, Tai Chi or something, I don't know what type of fighting style that is. So what I'm looking for would be something that can make a nice defense that can be very devastating offense. If you know what I mean.
It's a little general, but like what kind of techniques do you or what kind of techniques are you drawn to? Maybe
Basically, being able to counter my opponent. I've always been I was brought up by my father, who always taught me how to counter someone's punch and how to punish them with like whatever opening they give me.
would almost say judo would be a good one for you. That because
I
judo
was
is basically just all self-defense.
I was actually gonna bring up Wing Chun.
That too.
Yeah.
Because Wing Chun.
Basics.
Yeah, so the main theory of Wing Chun is to have both offense and defense simultaneously.
I
And
did really like what I saw when it came to Wing Chun.
you did or you did not? Sorry,
I did.
You did. Okay, like with I'm going to just use Donnie Yen in this instance because I mean Itman is like as a person, like through the accomplishments that Itman did is like crazy. Considering like both sides of my main martial arts are connected to him in some way.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, it is way crazy. So on the Kaji Kembo side, my grandmaster used to train with Bruce Lee and met Itman. And then on the other side, we have my guide, and he was taught by a guy named Master Baker. Baker was taught by Itman. So like third generation teachings.
It's amazing the cultural effect that these arts can really take on certain people in areas just by word of mouth back in the day, and now seeing it on a much bigger medium.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, for Wing Chun though, it's an art that I got a little bit into, but it's one of those that I didn't fully delve into. But it's pretty solid in itself, but it does lack some components to it. Just like I think about that with every style though. Like not one style is a perfect style. There's always pros and cons to it. Oh goodness.
Aren't you glad I'm not saying that shit in the
God
recording?
damn it.
Yeah, so
Oh, keep in mind, I just saw in the chat or Discord,
He's on
DJ
his way.
Hot Incoming.
wait a minute. Are you serious?
He's coming home, and he
Oh
expressed
my
it with
goodness. How much time does he have?
We are sitting pretty at a whopping hour and 16 minutes.
Damn.
We usually go to hour 30, hour 40.
Okay. So I don't think DJ's gonna make it still. Unfortunate.
I can just see him running in, just throwing everything on it. Like, guys, I'm here.
What did I miss?
I don't even know if he still will come. I don't even know if his roommates left or not.
Nah,
I can see
I have no
DJ
clue.
knocking him over and be like, "My PC podcast,"
Bam.
which is the worst part because DJ is like easily the only actual practitioner here and who has a ton of life experience and stories, and he's been a security guard and military.
Security,
and guess what?
Military, bouncer. He's been taught martial arts and all kinds of stuff.
And he got called into work an hour before we started recording.
No.
Yep.
Oh no.
It's like that sometimes.
Okay, when you said that he was a security officer,
Top 5 security.
I'm just looking at the pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, the uniform.
Here's his uniform.
Yeah.
I hope he was defending a K-pop band like that. That's just a perfect image.
That is pure gold. Oh my goodness.
Those who don't know,
Any of the K-pop bands,
Durdle's
just
background in the
dangles.
street right now. Those pictures you see, that is DJ.
Yeah, the three over here are DJ, and then the
Steven
one on the
Seagal.
right is
That's also DJ.
It's
It's also DJ.
Oh my gosh. Top flight security. We got whistles and shit. Oh my goodness.
Oh man, I hopefully he gets here. But oh man, Durdle, you hit us with some good ass questions tonight. Normally we're the ones bouncing people off the ropes, man. You got us on defense.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I usually do that. I mean,
I mean,
I try not to.
I
It's
kind
pretty
of
great.
expected this because man, he has some real life experience on this stuff. Yeah,
Durdle's
I'm
I
glad.
almost said something really mean.
Because
The
because
Sasquatch with the
personally,
black belt.
No, I was gonna say like weird or some variation of it, but you are a genuinely like unique character. There's so much to you, and every time we end up trying to play D&D and digging around for 4 hours, or when we're gaming or when we're doing stuff like this, you have some off the wall shit that I just wouldn't expect to hear from anybody ever.
Yeah, like I always say, like up until my late 20s, my life was interesting. And nowadays, I just try to like be calm, cool, and just like chill in my 30s.
Says the guy who
Because
does road trips to go meet his gaming friends all over the country.
yeah, exactly.
That's not
But
an easy undertaking.
I mean, it was fun though. It was
I
nice
bet that
and
was
chill.
fun.
Hella fun. But like nowadays, I'm just focusing on streaming. I'm focusing on teaching again, and training and just work. That's it. I don't really want anything else in my life at the moment.
That
My
is
life is
so funny.
strange.
Because some of the days you come home from or you come to D&D from training and it's just little bastards can't hit a target.
No, that was teaching, not even training.
That was teaching. I'm sorry.
But yeah, the teaching, I got my ass, like, I didn't want to say handed to me, but I got my ass kicked a few times by the students.
Well, no, that was when you were doing weapons training and they couldn't hit the target you were setting for them and they kept casting you forward. You remember what I'm talking about.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. You know how many
You
bruises
rolled up
I had from that?
I do. You rolled up your sleeves and it looked like you just went 12 rounds defending against Tyson Fury.
Dude, it went away within like 3 days, though.
That's good because it looked gnarly. It
It
looked
was
like
pretty
you were in a
bad.
car accident.
Oh man, yeah, it's that just reminded me of a conversation that I had with my boss earlier this week. I'm at work and she's like working on something, and she turns to me and she goes, "Hey Durdle, so what kind of martial arts do you do?" And I just go, "Yes," just to make it simple, because trying to explain martial arts to like a huge amount of martial arts to somebody that has zero experience with it is kind of hard. So I just say,
Yeah.
yes, I know martial arts. And she's like, no, but like, what do you teach? I was like, yes. And she's like, okay, that's not a martial art. Like, what styles of martial arts do you know? And I start naming off the things that I've like learned in the past, and she thought I was making like half of them up. She didn't like, she's like, there's no way in hell that you've learned anything from like all these different styles. I'm like, no, they're like, once you learn a style, you just basically go on to the next style and then see what you can take from that and go on to the next one. And I spent like a solid like 2-3 minutes just coming up with different styles that I trained with over the years. He walked up and said, "I'm a deadly weapon."
You say it like
You
Steven
did.
Oh my gosh.
I believe that though. You've been around and I've seen you when you train. You throw yourself into that shit.
Mhm.
Oh man. Like, so my two main my two main styles that that I'm learning or have learned, Kaja Kembo and something called Singdo. And Singdo is based off of Mudokwan and Sobak, which are both Korean martial arts, whereas Kaja Kembo focuses more on a mixed martial art that has a lot of Japanese and Chinese influence, with a little bit of Korean influence in it as well. But from those two styles that are open to trying different things and to see what works for you, you can delve into the realm of judo, jujitsu, kempo, karate, taekwondo, kung fu, like all of the anything you want to learn, you can do it. And that's what I really like about the styles that I personally chose. And you can create your own style in a sense after a while.
You really see that in the high level athletes that are on main stages where sorry, where oh yeah, he practices this, but oh look at this counter. That's his own unique way of stepping in and closing the distance. And it does get kind of wild. Because I know you don't follow a lot of the mainstream MMA and things like that. But I'm sure in competitions you've seen people who have their own unique way of setting up or pressuring their opponent, and it builds after all these years of experience.
Exactly.
I actually work with a guy who was a really dedicated boxer when he was young, and he is teaching his kids. Unfortunately, he's finding out his cardio isn't as good as it used to be. His footwork is on another level. I would never step in the ring with this guy when he was in his prime.
Oh,
I probably wouldn't want to either.
It was funny because somebody at work went to like just joke around. You know how guys always are. Take a few light shots or maybe even shadow box each other.
Yeah.
He threw 3 jabs before they were able to pull their head back.
Damn. That's pretty good.
My guy ain't playing around.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I know he talks a lot of shit, but he might actually have something going on. He just keeps looking.
Yeah, like even 3 techniques in a second is like pretty decent for a martial artist. And to sustain that momentum is very hard because you're using a lot of energy if you're trying to go that fast for a long period of time. So normally you'll just see like spurts of like fast techniques and stuff. But like to sustain that, it would be crazy. One thing I remember talking about, I think it was last month, and since you guys are like, I would consider, what's a nice way of saying it? Weebs? Is that? I mean, you guys consider yourself weebs?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Okay.
I just got back from a con. Yes, I am a fucking degenerate weeb.
And Dravo.
I'd probably put myself in that as well. Not as
Okay.
not as big
Well,
as these two, but definitely that's I am.
So what do you guys think about a martial arts? It doesn't have to be a real martial art, but like a style of martial arts where it has depictions of things that you've seen in anime and put it into a real life like sequence or move.
I don't even know how to go about this because
Yeah.
the outlandish aspect is 100% there, and I feel that. But a lot of the stuff I enjoy in that medium is based off real people, real experiences. Like you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Baki and
Hajime no Ippo and Shoot Fighter Tekken. They're mostly.
oh yeah.
Baki, I'm not going to include in this category because Baki is full fucking anime. There's some history there, but a lot of what they do is utter bullshit.
Yeah. But I could just imagine seeing like someone trying to make a fighting style based on that stuff. It'd be interesting to see. See if they can pull it off.
One technique that came to my mind that actually got me thinking about this was from One Punch Man, and it wasn't Saitama. It was I forgot his name. The older White Fang, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Garu's teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he has this technique called Flowing River Crushing Rock.
Yup.
And I was messing around one day, and I was like, I just remembered the scene where he, like, the different scenes when he used the technique. And I'm thinking to myself, wait, if you move it like this, you can build up the momentum and then you can come down. And then I realized it's an actual, like, you could actually use it as a technique with like putting the knowledge of martial arts into it and to make it an actual technique to use. So I tried it out. It's pretty fun.
You call it us, Weebs. You're the one actually out here trying the moves you see in anime.
He was the guy Naruto running in middle school.
Oh, wait. Yep.
Well, that one. Wait, when did it come out? When did Naruto come out to the States?
God.
2008 or something like that.
Yeah, I graduated that year.
Way earlier than that. Way earlier than that. Sorry, no, that was. I think that was Shippuden. Yeah, I think that was maybe Shippuden that came out.
Mm.
I remember being a wee little kid seeing those shows come up.
Yeah, because I don't remember Naruto coming out. I kind of I stayed away from it.
Let's see, Naruto release
It has
date.
to
That's
be very early 2000s or maybe very late 90s.
No, it was early. It was early. It was in early 2002.
Yep.
End of 2002.
So like when the Shonen Jump started getting popular, or
Yeah, like when
around there.
What was it? Toonami, Adult Swim, stuff like that was like really, really starting to pop off.
Yeah, because I remember they used to open up Adult Swim with Naruto.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like
Really?
literally like right after like all the Cartoon Network stuff was over, and it just goes straight into Adult Swim, and Naruto was like the first one. And that's why
When like Adult Swim was like
always
90% anime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like the big reason why I was able to see it back then was because it was so early in the Adult Swim section.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to stay up that late.
Oh no! Right after Naruto was over, I would always have to be like, go to bed. I was a way little kid, and they're like, okay, you're done.
No, I remember watching like Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura, Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho. What were some other ones in there? The Gundam series, Inuyasha. Yeah, I remember seeing all those on Toonami.
Remember during the night, if I fell asleep to watching TV, I would catch glimpses of Inuyasha here and there, but I never really stayed awake to pay attention because I would just drift right back off to sleep.
You're like, oh no, a schoolgirl's telling a demon to sit.
Why does that little old man's face look like a flea?
Oh man, what was his name? What was it? Moroku, I think it was the character's name. The monk. He was like one of my favorite characters in the show.
I haven't really watched Inuyasha. I think I've seen like maybe 5 episodes. I haven't actually put in the time to watch it.
I hate that show so much.
I really don't have an opinion on it.
I gave it an effort, but I found better stuff to watch.
Yeah, I never really got into it. Never gave it a shot, so I have no opinion on it. I think I've watched more Bleach than Inuyasha.
I think I've only seen like 3 episodes of Bleach. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not huge into anime, but I do watch some on occasion. Then again, when I say that, everybody brings up that I've watched Food Wars. So
of course you have.
I've seen one episode of that, and one episode is all I needed. So I'm like, okay, this is pretty over the top even for me.
Dude, honestly, once you get past the random people like having their clothes fly off and stuff, it's actually a pretty good show, and it does teach you some really good cooking techniques. It's pretty crazy how accurate the stuff is. At least the stuff that I remember from it.
I think that's one thing that I hear about that one is that the actual food and cooking methods can actually be used in real practice.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool for an anime, and
I'm not watching hentai to get my recipes.
I was about to say, I'd rather just look it up.
Food porn.
I don't need to watch someone just take one bite of a dish.
Feel gross about it. I won't be able to eat it.
Just see one person take a bite of the dish, and all of a sudden they're having the biggest orgasm of their life. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm good.
Funny.
Look it up.
Talking about anime. because my mind immediately went big. Oh, I don't know if anyone else is old or if it's just me.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, God. You guys bring out the worst in me.
Oh, God.
So to answer, because I haven't answered the question, but I thought I was just thinking about it. The question that I asked, trying to reel us back in. I would want to learn ninjutsu because it's a very good martial art to learn for balance. And with projectile throwing, I'm pretty bad at throwing projectiles. I'm not gonna lie. I've trained, like I've done a little bit of training with it. Not the best, but to get like
It's all in the flick of the wrist.
it's so if I remember correctly, with throwing knives and things like that, you actually don't want to flick your wrist.
Yeah, no, I was fucking with you. Keep that shit straight, because Mikey, I don't know if you did this too, but when we go to the summer camp, scout camps, we would do the tomahawk throwing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were basically like, yeah, you basically keep your wrist like straight. The rest of your arm is what's doing all the movement.
Because if you change the trajectory, then it's just going to go all fucky and flop wherever it hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daryl, do you mind if I make a quick recommendation to you?
I don't mind.
This question did make me think, and I did think of a cool style, and I think you might like it. It's from a really old anime that's near impossible to find called Shoot Fighter Tekken.
Street Fighter Tekken?
Shoot Fighter Tekken.
Shoot. Got it.
So if you get on YouTube and look up Shoot Fighter Tekken Episode 2, Part 4, it brings into this fight scene about this guy named Shingo Aoi, who has a made-up grappling style that they made for the show. But it is really cool because it uses real-world practices, and it's kind of outlandish. It is anime, but in theory, everything makes sense. And some of the moves are really cool because they're not just standard setups. He'll be in a standing position, and when he goes in for a clinch, he'll drop low and put him into a roll to land a submission. And it's a really neat concept. And while it's not One Punch Man over the top, it definitely hits that fine line of just anime enough to be fake. But man, that'd be really cool if you saw that in real life.
I really like fighting scenes that are like that in anime, honestly.
Just grounded enough to be believable, but over the top enough to really sell you that like on the roller coaster feeling.
Exactly.
Go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say, like in Dragon Ball Z, like you see just like a torrent of techniques being thrown here and there, and you don't even really see people fighting in that show until you get to like. Well, I think it's actually in the early stages of Dragon Ball Z specifically, because I didn't watch Dragon Ball much, but I believe Dragon Ball actually hit even better. But anyway, like actual techniques being thrown in the anime, and because like everybody knows like Spirit Bomb, Kamehameha Wave, and all that kind of stuff, but like some of the techniques in there, like you could see like when they're landing, or like the weird what was it that it was with the androids in Vegeta, I believe it was, when Vegeta starts like is grabbed by one of the androids, and he just like, typical arrogant Vegeta goes and starts like walking on top of their chest and then just rips their arms out of their sockets.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, I do remember that scene.
Oh my gosh. It was I forgot what the fat android's number was.
19.
19, that's one. There was
yes, it was 19 because Jiro turned himself into like 20.
Oh, okay.
You got to check out Kenyan Ashura then.
Oh yeah, that is a show.
Yeah, if you don't mind DM me these, because I'm going to forget by the end of the podcast.
Better idea, chat. Just start spamming him until he goes and looks immediately, because he won't answer the DM. I schedule a D&D game with him every week, and he calls me 5 minutes before he's late.
Okay, that was just this last week, and that
realizing we
was
canceled.
You showed up to
Yeah.
Tom's house when we canceled.
And we see this in the message in the chat going, "Oh, I just read the message right now."
I
Man.
got a lot of shit going on.
I believe you.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to the drastic measurements and calling it reinforcements.
Oh goodness.
Oh shit.
Ugh.
Unfortunately, I do not think we're going to catch Deej tonight, folks.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Should hey Brandon.
Yeah, what's up?
Should I bring up the thing that I was talking to you about, or
Yeah, go
should we
ahead.
save it? Okay, because it sounds like we're kind of wrapping things up.
Yep.
I actually have some awesome news. Immediately after I'm done with this podcast, at this time of recording, I'm actually going to be going back to where I was at, and we are having a martial arts meeting with a lot of high level martial artists in the style that I'm at, or that I'm doing right now. And tomorrow is going to be the inauguration of our new karate school, or sorry, martial arts school. We don't do karate there. So, yeah, so it's opening up tomorrow, which is pretty crazy, and we're just trying to get all the final things ready for it, and we're just gonna see who comes, and I'm really nervous, but I'm also really excited about it.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Man,
it's
congratulations. That sounds like an
Yeah.
endeavor and a half.
Oh
yeah, it's gonna be crazy, dude. It's I don't know if you guys well the local area here for the guys that are here, the Power Inn Road
Okay.
is where it's gonna be on. Yeah,
Oh,
and
damn.
toward the South Sac portion of it.
And if you ever want to practice, just walk like 45 minutes up the road.
Yeah, even that. Yeah, it's like it's for those of you who are not versed in Sacramento shenanigans. Sacramento, like South Sac, is the worst part of Sacramento, and it gets pretty bad at times. It's not as bad nowadays, but like in the 80s and 90s, it was really bad, especially
It's no
with the
West Sac.
gang wars.
Don't
West
even
Sac
get me
is
started.
kind of going downhill these days. Yeah.
Don't even get me started. I work out
It's
there.
bad.
Ugh. Yeah, but I'm really excited for it. We're working on the project as we speak, of this like at the time of this recording, and we're gonna be trying to just show a new style to people and see how many people are receptive to it. And yeah, it's gonna be really fun.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah. Congrats on that.
Yeah, it's something we've been working on for at least a couple of years now. So we're finally putting it into motion.
That's got to feel cool. Like getting that big of a project and commitment just up and rolling.
Yeah. And one thing that kind of caught me off guard about it was like when I was smaller, when I got into martial arts for my second time, because a total time of 3 times over the life. The second time when I was going into Kanja Kembo, I was like, what does it take to become a chief instructor of martial arts? Like, how does somebody obtain that much information and like retain it and be able to show people like how to do it? And starting tomorrow, I get to be that example that I was like wishing and wondering about back then. So it's kind of like a little dream of mine almost coming to reality.
Yeah, the student becomes the master. Hell yeah.
Exactly.
You beat me to it.
Oh man. So yeah, if you are in the if you guys don't mind me doing this, if you are in the Sacramento area, you can always DM me either on YouTube, Discord, Twitch, whatever you want to do. Durdle Kingdom. I can give you the information for it. We are calling the dojo / martial arts school / workshop environment, wherever you want to call it. Doesn't really matter. We're calling it Singdo, which means the King's Way. It translates to the King's Way, and there's a whole mess load of stuff. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time for me to go over it for the philosophy of it and everything, but it's a really well-rounded martial art. I highly recommend it to people, and I'm going to see if we can do virtual classes as well, if that's possible. That way, people from out of state can participate as well. And yeah, it should be an awesome transition into a new chapter.
That is absolutely wild. I can't wait to see where this goes, especially being one of the local crew.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be something cool to see, especially a positive outlet in a community specifically. That is going to be a wild, wild venture, man. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm just laughing off mic. That's all.
Yeah, no, I got you on face cam. I'm watching
Okay.
you. I see what
Yeah.
you're about.
Keep it alive.
Yeah, we see what's going on. Mutes himself.
I straight up muted myself there. All I see is bands for haircut, bands for self promotion, bands for Sasquatch.
See, we got you on the fence now.
Oh man.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
Oh man.
That was fun. Chief Executive Lizard. Are we at time?
Yes, we hit that time.
All right, we'll do this nice, clean, simple. Durdle, I don't know if you remember from last time. I always do a final roll call, a goodbye note from each of us, and if you have anything last minute you want to shout out, we'll save you for last. You've already done your little plug. We don't mind. We don't give a shit. We want the best for you. Anybody who comes to work with us. So I'm going to start off with my usual roll call sheet. I'll flip over to the page. Don't be doing shit while I'm not looking at your face.
I'm watching him. I'm watching him like a fucking hawk.
All right, since you're watching him, we'll start with you specifically because I just need to get your shit out of the way. Closing notes, Fraser?
More or less, I just gotta I want to now. After all we talked about, I really want to go watch a lot of old martial arts movies, specifically Jackie Chan movies.
Yo, Drunken Master, let's go.
Hell yes.
Let's do a movie night.
I'm down. I'm so down.
I'm so down to watch Drunken Master again.
We can actually get this to happen. It'd be great.
No, better idea. This will be much more profitable. Are we doing a Durdle Kingdom watch along?
Durdle Kingdom watch along.
Unfortunately, since it's copyrighted material, you probably can't play it on stream.
You don't know how a watch along works, do you?
How what?
A watch along? It's a thing people do on Twitch.
Oh, it's like it's off screen in a Discord, and then they just see your reaction or whatever.
Yeah, more of that, or you do the really old school one where you sync it up and do a New Year's countdown, and everybody hits play at the same time, and you just pop up and chat and Discord and hang out with each other.
Hell yeah!
As long as you don't really have audio or video up on Twitch, you're good.
Yeah,
because they can get your ass.
Oh yeah, they can.
I mean, actually, no, I'm not gonna say
it.
Don't you say it.
The amount of times I've had to stop myself from singing something, especially Disney songs. Like I've had to quell that, and it's just it's so hard sometimes.
Oh,
God, that actually reminded me of something that actually happened in my family, but they can say that for later.
Oh man,
jeez,
you're telling me this shit? You know the friends that I hang out with, fucking Mikey, DJ. These motherfuckers will pull references and shit out of the drop of a hat, and I have to edit that shit out.
Hey, the Barracuda one was in no way able to be copyright. That was so bad. It was so off key, and we didn't even say any words. We were just humming like idiots.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, moving along. Is that your wrap up for your closing up,
Pretty
Fraser?
much, yeah, just
Okay. Cutting along to the Lizard King.
It's been great. I always enjoy our time with Durdle. We definitely need to do this more often.
Hell
And
yeah.
it's been very informative.
It's always awesome being with you guys.
And then before we close out completely, I'll do that part myself. Let's get the king on the throne, man. Closing notes and a goodbye from you, man. How are you going to close yourself out?
Remember, everybody, to smash that follow button if you like this podcast. And if you want to see future podcasts, go ahead and type into either Spotify, YouTube, or any other place that has podcasts, NoSkill Entertainment. With that, I appreciate the cameo appearance again onto the NoSkill Entertainment podcast. And if you'd like to check me out, I am a content creator myself. I am at the Durdle Kingdom with D's instead of T's like turtle. And you just type that into Twitch or YouTube or TikTok and you'll see my handsome face. But with that, I appreciate all the time and effort that has gone into this by this NoSkill crew, by myself, and by everybody watching. So thank you so much for that, and I definitely appreciate it.
Man, my co-host was making it easy on me tonight. Yeah, he did everything right. Thank you so much for everyone showing up. I've been NoSkill Mike. We've been NoSkill Entertainment. This is Durdle Kingdom himself. Good night, everyone.
Welcome to Durdle Kingdom.
Bye.
I love you.
Welcome to the Durdle Kingdom. I love you.